Hey Magic Makers, welcome to the first week of Making Magic. So excited to work on releasing with you this week because releasing is kind of the very first step that we need to be taking in order that we can have really great energy systems to make the magic that we want to have in our lives. And Dana's given you an amazing overview from her perspective about releasing and shared with you the stars and the heart activity for the week. So, what I would like to take the opportunity to do with you now is kind of give you my perspective about releasing work. So, releasing is really kind of the foundational piece. And, with releasing, I'm getting goosebumps. This is crazy. That's my form of confirmation. So, I'm so glad that I'm about to share something that apparently a lot of you need to hear. So, I'm just completely honored to be in the space. And just as a side note, that transparency is part of making magic. But anyhow, so releasing, it's this foundational piece that we need to do. And I think for a lot of people, when we choose or we come up with the opportunity to release, there is this feeling perhaps of fear, of guilt, of uncertainty. Sometimes we don't know what life is like without that stuff. And it is kind of scary to step into a new place and not be carrying that baggage. I mean, it's almost, you could really think about it as like the handbag that you always carry, right? You're super used to it. You know exactly what it feels like on your hip. And if it's not there, or if you wear it on the other side, it just feels weird. Um, but you can't always choose to wear a new bag, but you keep going back to that old bag. Even if you hate it, it's ratty, it's comfortable, right? But what we're doing is helping you release things really safely. And so the activity has been set up to support you. You may or you may not feel it, and that's totally okay. There is almost a net below you as you're doing it. So if you need a little comfort to know that you're not doing it alone, I guarantee you it is there. Dina and I, our hearts are so there with you in the moment. So, feel the courage and let it out. And so, the other thing I wanted to go back and just hit real quick with you was about releasing and the guilt. You don't have to work through all of your problems. Shocking, right? Everybody tells you you need to understand, you need to, come to terms with it. But the fact is, a lot of what we carry, we don't need to understand. The lesson in the experience that we went through, it may not have even been for us. We just happened to be a bystander and we took some of that with us. It's just not needed. Of course, there are experiences where we need to understand and learn because life is throwing perhaps repetitive experiences at us that there is something that we need to extract from it. But there's a lot of stuff that we pick up along the way that we simply don't need to know, understand, or even be okay with. Like, it is completely okay just to release it. You truly don't need that receipt on it saying, okay, I got it, noted, learned. Mm-mm, that's not necessary. So as you're thinking about your activities, I'm going to go in a little bit deeper for each video, but just know that there is freedom. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to have this really big emotional experience with the stuff that you're letting go. You may have it, and that's totally fine. But you don't have to feel like you need to have this like giant cloud that you're throwing out and you're crying and sobbing and you're letting it go in a very dramatic fashion. Just not the case. Like I said, a lot of the stuff we carry just has been with us for a long time, just useless. We don't need to understand it. Let it go. It could be as simple as that. So I hope you really take the time that you need to, with each of the activities this week, one or both, as Dina said, do whichever ones you want to do, whatever ones you're called to do, and just really experience them. Maybe it's just as you're writing your list, it's just quick, it's easy. As you're letting things go, throwing it to the dumpster, the recycle bin, as you'll find out, or you already have found out, they can just be really light activities. They may be heavy, they may be light, whatever it is. Take the exact time that you need. Might be fast, might be slow, doesn't matter. It's everything is okay. As Dana has said, and I've also echoed, I'm gonna say it again, there's no wrong way to do this stuff. You really need to begin to trust yourself. There's no perfect system that fits every single person. And that's one of the things that Dina and I are seeing, that we really want to help people shatter those perceptions that you have to go through a specific set of motions to accomplish an end result. As long as you're doing it from your heart and you're really feeling it and it just feels right, it's just simply perfect. So that is my little spiel on release. And if you have any questions or you're kind of intrigued and you want to talk more about anything specific, let me know. Talk to you soon.